So Guerlain just announced a new flanker to their men's release called L'Homme Ideal, this right here. The new fragrance, or the new flanker, is called L'Homme Ideal L'Intense, which also includes L'Homme Ideal Cologne, L'Homme Ideal EDP, L'Homme Ideal Sport. I'm going to discuss with you all about this new flanker that's coming out soon, plus tell you all about the 4 fragrances in the collection currently coming right up. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is Sebastian with Smelling Great Fragrance Reviews, and let's get right to it because we're going to discuss 5 different fragrances, 4 currently available, which includes L'Homme Ideal, this right here, launched in 2014, then L'Homme Ideal Cologne, which was launched in 2015, then came L'Homme Ideal Eau de Parfum, which was launched in 2016, and finally L'Homme Ideal Sport, which was launched last year in 2017. And the new flanker, soon to be launched, is called L'Homme Ideal L'Intense, which I'm assuming is an EDP concentration. It's a black bottle, completely black, more black than this. This is the blackest, this is the first one. But I'm very curious to find out all about this release. The notes in this fragrance really excite me. So I'm getting information from parfumo.net. If you don't know this website or database, go over there and look at their website because I recommend this for it's kind of like a Fragrantica, but they also have a social aspect to their website that is not available in Fragrantica, which I kind of like in Parfumo. So what they've listed, they don't have a date for a release date for this particular flanker called L'Homme Ideal L'Intense, but they do list that the perfumer is Thierry Wasser, the perfumer behind all 4 of these releases. And the notes they list, which is what got me excited. For top notes, you have chili, cardamom, and almond. In the heart notes, you have leather, Bulgarian rose, and cistus. And in the base notes, you've got patchouli, vanilla, sandalwood, and smoky notes. Well, that's got me really excited. But let's go back to the original that came out in 2014. So the original L'Homme Ideal came out in 2014, and the notes that are in here are all about almonds, tonka beans, leather, and citruses. Now, almonds, tonka beans, leather, all of those notes are like typical notes that Guerlain uses. So I wasn't too excited about this particular release when it first came out, especially since that tonka bean kind of reminded me of other notes. But slowly but surely, I got really into it. I got this, not the first of this series, but this is the one that I bought first. Later I bought the Cologne version. Then I went and bought the original version. And then finally the Sport version. I like this one a lot, but I still prefer the EDP, which I bought first. And I just like the fact that the EDP is more intensified. But here, it's all about tonka beans with almonds. The leathery notes pop through. And then you also have some vetiver and citruses, some orange blossom, it does get woody. And then there's also this very green, aromatic, spicy, herbal touch of rosemary in it. That makes it a unique fragrance. I find it to be a little light, not like heavy, which I kind of was hoping. I think it's not like a wow, groundbreaking kind of a release, but it's a decent release. And it's perfect for like people that love almonds and tonka beans. So if you like those 2 notes, this is perfect. This is also kind of maybe how or why maybe Fucking Fabulous was inspired from, because it's almonds and tonka beans and leather, and that's kind of what notes are present in Fucking Fabulous. Whereas if I had to put both of them side by side, I would pick Fucking Fabulous over this one as far as smell goes. Because I find it to be, as I said, a little on the weak side. It's kind of a weakling. But still, it's quite lovely. That rosemary kind of reminds me of the clary sage that's in Fucking Fabulous. So I kind of find them, I don't know, I don't think they're inspired in general from each other. Like Fucking Fabulous was not inspired by this, but they're kind of like similar notes with leather, almonds, and tonka beans. So this is one for you to try if you haven't tried it, especially if you like the tonka beans and almonds, because it's got a big dominant tonka bean and almond note in here. So this is the original L'Homme Ideal from 2014. A year later, we got Guerlain L'Homme Ideal Cologne, this one right here. Now I've put this one to good use, as you can see. I like this one. It's perfect for summertime. It does act like an eau de cologne, even though it's an eau de toilette concentration. So the concentration of the oils might be not as heavy to match eau de toilettes, I don't know, but it is pretty light. It also kind of smells like Dior Homme Cologne. I don't know if you've smelled that one. This just has the almond touch to it, which is pretty big here. So you've got grapefruit, almonds, orange, you've got bergamot, vetiver, orange blossom, musk, and pink pepper. So it's a great release, and especially perfect for wearing in the hot summer days, humid days. It works magical, but just the longevity is quite short-lived, unfortunately. And I think also because it reminds me of Dior Homme Cologne, I think it's because Guerlain and Dior are both owned by LVMH, Louis Vuitton, Moet and Hennessy Corporation, so maybe they've kind of used similar notes, but it really does remind me of Dior Homme Cologne, just with the fact that it also has added almonds. So if you don't know this flanker to the original L'Homme Ideal, I recommend you check it out. Just go in knowing that this is not going to last a long time. So my first fragrance in the L'Homme Ideal series of fragrances from Guerlain was L'Homme Ideal Eau de Parfum. I fell in love with the way this smells and absolutely loved it. I had a friend who was visiting France just around the time this had just launched, so I asked them to bring me a bottle, and they did, and I love it. So this one has a pretty big cherry note. It does have a pretty big cherry note with almonds again. Then it also has vanilla, so they've amped up the warmer notes. And the leather is still there, the tonka bean is still there, and they've added some incense, some spicy notes. There's also sandalwood, rose, bergamot, lavender, sage, and rosemary. So it's more closer to this compared to the cologne. And this one's truly beautiful. Again, this is not a bad release, but there's also hints of it, kind of like reminds me a little bit of Dior Homme Parfum, a little bit. Whereas Dior Homme Parfum is a beast, this is not so much of a beast. It does last a little longer than this, which is good, but not really long lasting. Definitely longer lasting than the cologne though. But if you want the most unique out of all four so far, this is the one. I love the way it smells. I just wish it was a little beefier and a little more heftier, oomfier. But if you like that kind of a thing, it's kind of like a gourmand. It does smell like Guerlain fragrances, but boy, Guerlain's fragrances have gotten a little on the weak side lately, unfortunately, but still, love this one. The cherry and the almonds work so well together, nutty and fruity. Then you've got the leather, and then of course the vanilla and the tonka beans. Absolutely gorgeous. So this is Guerlain's L'Homme Ideal Eau de Parfum. That was the third release in the series. And then last year they launched the sport version. So the sport version was completely something from the left field. I didn't get why they did a sport version. And then they added aquatic touches to it. So it does have this weird aquatic touch. I have a review for both of this one and this one. You should check it out. And then the one thing I want to mention is there's a really awesome ad for this particular release that's shot here in San Francisco with a bunch of different women in wedding gowns chasing one man around the cable car. You have to see this, just look it up. It's absolutely funny. Not sure why it was shot here in San Francisco, but it is. But going back to the sport version, it's the weakling out of all of them. I just don't like that aquatic touch in here. Kind of weird. So you've got the aquatic touch, you've got the almonds, you've got patchouli, vetiver, orange blossom, tonka beans, and spicy notes. So it's fine. Some people like this kind of a fragrance. I think almonds and aquatic notes kind of don't work well together, which was actually fine because this dried down to be more patchouli, and I like the patchouli part of the fragrance, but the aquatic touches at the top were a little too much for me. Sure, I love the bottle too. The color of the bottle is really lovely, the blue. And yeah, I mean, it's okay. It's not like, oh my God, I can't stand it or anything like that, but it's not my favorite out of the four. So going back to the new flanker, L'Homme Ideal L'Intense, I'm really excited about it, especially since it has chili and cardamom at the top, and patchouli, vanilla, sandalwood, and smoky notes in the base. And of course, you got the rose amped up in the heart with the leather and the cistus. I cannot wait to smell this one. I hope it's going to be more intense than this. I hope. sounds like it. The smoky notes, that sounds like it's going to be like intense. The chili sounds like it's going to be intense. So I'm looking forward to that one. But guys, what are your thoughts? Are they doing too many flankers of these fragrances from Guerlain? We've got Guerlain L'Homme Ideal, Guerlain L'Homme Ideal Cologne, Guerlain L'Homme Ideal Parfum, and then Guerlain L'Homme Ideal Sport. Now we have the Guerlain L'Homme Ideal Intense. Let me know. Let me get your thoughts. And also, do you have any of these fragrances? Do you like them? Do you not like them? Do you hate them? Let me know. Also, do you like Guerlain as a house? And do you consider Guerlain a designer or a niche house? Let me know. Let's get a conversation started. And let me know if you're anticipating the flanker L'Homme Ideal L'Intense. Alright guys, please like this video, please share it, follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye.